Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Friday, January 8th, 2021. And today is the day that's ruled by the solar plexus chakra and guided by navigation. And the galactic signature or gateway of today is the red crystal serpent energy. And so the red serpent energy is all about survival, life force, and instinct. And so it's about honoring that primal aspect of our nature today and really becoming rooted and centered in our bodies and expressing ourselves physically through our bodies, through our utilization of the physical senses, right? It's a day that is marked and represents Kundalini energy, the awakening of that Kundalini energy that is the red serpent. And this is our creative energy. It's our sexual energy. It's our life force energy. So really tapping into that energy today, tapping into our instinctual nature. Really paying attention to what our bodies and our instincts are telling us and attempting to show us. And really working on coming into union with that energy and then merging that energy with our higher spiritual energy. We have a very unique opportunity when we are incarnated here on earth to really tap into that and to merge those two different energies. We are always higher spiritual beings, but we get to take that higher spiritual knowledge and understanding and merge that with this very physical, instinctual survival instinct and this life force energy that we only have when we're present here. And the quote that I always love to read with the red serpent energy is, "The serpent reminds us to merge our primal life force energy with our higher visionary eagle mind, to become balanced and fully alive as a feathered serpent. This allows us to bring holistic insight into matters of survival and creation, assuring we see what's near and far." And yes, I am speaking very deliberately today. We are getting close to that pre-shadow period for Mercury. And I guess I'm already starting to feel it when Mercury gets ready to go into retrograde. This can affect speech, communication. It's where our minds are operating from a different perspective. We're operating more from the subconscious mind as opposed to the conscious mind. And so some of us get a little bit tongue-tied. I have some strong Virgo in my chart, which is ruled by Mercury, which may be why it tends to affect me very deeply sometimes when we go into these retrogrades. And so if I fumble over my words, I apologize, you guys. That pre-shadow period starts on the 15th. So really, I mean, the fact that I'm feeling it already, it may be quite a retrograde. And there will, of course, be a video on that when we get closer to the time. But yes, just putting that out there as a disclaimer right now. But yes, really tapping into that red serpent energy, really becoming one with our bodies today, merging with our bodies, expressing through our bodies, dance, yoga, anything that really incorporates movement. If you do have a partner or a lover in your life, today is a great day to express physically in that way and to really express that Kundalini energy. When you operate from a sacred perspective, when it comes to your sexuality, that's another way that we merge that higher spiritual energy with that primal life force energy. That is one of the most powerful and potent ways that we merge those energies. And so tapping into that today, if you guys are able to, is a great way to experience this energy. And we have the crystal tone today. And so this is all about universalizing and cooperation. And so really everybody coming together, cooperating, bringing their brilliant minds, their brilliant ideas, their brilliant energy together to create something together, which is, of course, the energy that really embodies this age of Aquarius as well. And so a beautiful, beautiful tone that we're operating with today. The affirmation for today is, "I dedicate in order to survive, universalizing instinct. I seal this door of life force with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of navigation." And for the astrology today, we have the moon currently in Scorpio. And so this is a very intense energy. This is a fixed water energy. We may be feeling our emotions may be heightened today. There's a lot of passion with this Scorpio energy, a lot of intensity, a lot of really desiring that true intimate connection with another human being today. We also have some interesting, and whoops, I have it open to the new moon, which I am mapping out for you guys currently. Let's get back to today's energy. We have some interesting aspects going on. We have the sun sextiling both the moon in Scorpio, Neptune in Pisces, and Pluto, and it is moving into conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn. And so with these sextiles to the moon and Neptune, and this moving into conjunction, which we've been seeing all week with Pluto, right? This is definitely an energy that is bringing us into our higher mind, right? There's a lot of psychic energy available to us today. We also have the moon trining Neptune and sextiling Pluto to really enhance this connection. And so we're going to have deeper spiritual insights if we're open to those today. We are getting a very intense look into our psyche when we have this Sun conjunct Pluto energy. Pluto is that energy that is the energy of the underworld, the energy of the shadow. It also represents power. And so really stepping into our empowerment. And I'm trying to remember, I feel as though, yes, it was Mercury that was conjunct Pluto for most of this week. And so we had that energy with our mental space. And now it's our entire consciousness as a whole with this Sun energy. As Pluto now, or Pluto isn't moving really, everybody else is. As Mercury moves out of conjunction with Pluto and the Sun moves into conjunction with Pluto. And on the new moon, we are going to have Pluto conjunct the Sun and moon. And so this is going to be a really powerful transformational energy, an energy of calling back our power. There's so much going on with this. And so we're warming up into those energies right now. But we're really going to get a chance today to see deep into our own psyche, deep into our own emotional nature, deep into all of these aspects of the self, and really come up with some answers to some questions that we might have. Things are going to be revealed to us. And we have an incredible ability to tap into our own depths today, if we so choose to. We also have Mercury, who is, as I'm looking now, in an exact square to Mars. And so there's a bit of tension there with that energy. We have Mars, who is getting ready to move into Taurus. I'm checking right now on where Mars is currently. Mars just moved into Taurus today. Okay, so there we have it. We have Mars that has moved into Taurus, and we have Mercury that has moved into Aquarius. And so this is an interesting energy because Mars in Taurus is very focused energy, right? Mars is our instinct. It's also the way that we navigate. It's the way that we assert our will in the world, the way that we move forward. Also the ways that we react to aggression, right? It represents all of that warlike energy within us. And so in Taurus, that energy is very calculated. It's very strategic. It's very slow moving. But it has a destination, right? It doesn't move with no destination. It just moves very slowly toward our goals. And so we've been in this Mars and Aries energy for a really long time. And we've been refining that. And it's actually really perfect with this red serpent energy today, right? Because we've been refining our primal nature when it comes to how we go after what we want, how we assert ourselves in the world. Like Mars in Aries, Mars rules Aries. And so this has been a powerful transit, and it's been a 6-month transit, which is much longer than Mars usually spends in a sign. I think it's like 4 weeks or so, 4 to 6 weeks or something like that Mars typically spends in a sign. And so this has been a long time. 6 months is a long time because Mars went retrograde in Aries. That's what kept him in there so long. And so a lot of refinement around that as we learn more about our empowerment, more about how we exert our will, more about how we react impulsively sometimes and recklessly and aggressively. And so now we're taking that, but it's been a fiery energy. It's been Mars in Aries is a very forward moving energy. Yes, Mars went retrograde and that slowed it down and had us sort of take a look at different angles of that. But then he moved back into Aries and we felt that momentum building. And so now with Mars and Taurus, that momentum slows down a little bit. But it's necessary because this allows us to plan. This allows us to really think about where it is that we're going, where it is that we want to get, right? And how it is that we're going to go about getting there. And so that's the energy right now. But we may be feeling this a little bit today as the shift happens, as a little bit of frustration. And when we have Mercury and Aquarius, Mercury Mercury is our minds, right? So as Mercury moves into Aquarius, this is really about freeing our minds. It's about thinking outside the box. It's about rebellion, right? It's about individuality. It's about freedom above all else. And so we're really in this forward thinking mode right now. And so there can be a little bit of a tension where we're thinking in a very forward manner, but our movement is feeling a bit slowed. And so we may feel a little bit of a clash with that, where we're like, well, I have these ideas that are coming to fruition now, and I want to enact them. And what? Now I'm being asked to slow down again. Like, I don't want to slow down. I want to move forward. And so we can really take advantage of this energy by looking at what are those concrete steps that will move me forward. Do I have a plan? Right? And yes, like, I love that quote, like the universe laughs when you make plans, or God laughs when you make plans, right? But at the same time, we do want plans. We want to be flexible and allow those plans to flow and develop and change and transform as they are meant to, right? We want to be mutable. But at the same time, we do want to have a plan. And so this is not a bad energy. If we take that Mercury and Aquarius energy, and then we take that Mars and Taurus energy, and we really formulate that into a plan of action that we can take to move forward on the inspired ideas that are coming through, especially with these connections with Neptune and Pluto and the moon and all of this, and the sun, a lot of inspired ideas, inspired ways of doing things, of going about things. We have Mercury moving into conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn right now, moving out of conjunction with Pluto and moving into conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn. And so this has a lot of forward-thinking energy. Once again, Saturn in Aquarius is asking us to create a structure that really supports us, that thinks outside the box, but it is still asking us to create a structure and to look at our responsibilities, just maybe to look at them in a way that is a little bit more expansive than how we may have viewed them before. But we are still, it's another energy calling us to make a plan, right? And then Jupiter in Aquarius is all about expanding and pushing past those horizons, breaking out of that mold. And so that's a beautiful energy. And altogether, this is very much a refreshing, like, forward moving kind of energy once again. So I really love that for us. Mercury also in a sextile to Chiron. And so us really being aware of the healing journey that we've taken so far, especially when it does come to that Aries energy of our empowerment, right? Of our courage. I'm really feeling that courage piece strongly coming through today. How have we healed around that? How are we able to be courageous? How are we feeling confident in ourselves today? And how can we continue to feed that confidence? And then as we have these deeper shadow energies going on here, that are also being revealed to us, we can see what stands in the way of us being able to enact that and really look and work through some of that stuff. And if you guys want assistance with that, please reach out to me. I offer a bunch of different services that can be really helpful in doing that. The Theta healing is great. The Belvaspata is great. As I said, just my email's in the description box below. All right, we're going to pull a couple Work Your Light cards to get started today. Clear. What guidance do we have for today from the Work Your Light deck? And so we have, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. And we have boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries coming out? Okay. And so you're already doing it, right? This is that energy, like there's a lot of mental energy going on today with those sextiles, with all those connections that Mercury is making, with the fact that Mercury just changed signs today, right? And so there is that point where we think a little bit too much, right? And so we don't want to get caught up overthinking everything. We want to realize that a lot of the things, and this is what I'm feeling for a lot of people, it's like your journey and your healing process, it's like we sometimes we get so caught up thinking that we have to do something in order to heal. Like, have I meditated enough? Have I done enough of this? Have I done enough of that? That we don't realize that just as we are living our lives and we're beginning to see things and we're beginning to make new decisions, we're already healing. We're already on that journey, right? And so it's like giving ourselves credit for how far we have come in this journey and just realizing that whether it's like people that say, oh, I really want to heal my heart, I wish I knew how to do that. You're already doing it, right? oh, I really want to find my purpose. I really want to know why it is that I'm here. You're already doing it. Everything that you are doing right now is preparing you for that, is a stepping stone to that, is a part of that healing process, a part of that process of finding your purpose, any and all of that stuff, right? And so it's just like, continue moving in the direction you're moving, and know that there is so much more happening than what you may consciously realize right now. Although today, with the energies we have present, you may begin to consciously realize it more as well. If you look at the way that you're handling a specific situation, and then you realize it's totally different from how you've done it in the past, or it's at least a bit different, right? That means you're making progress. If you look at where you are now and where you were 6 months ago, where you were a year ago, you're probably in a different place. And if you are in a different place, you're already doing it. So know that and understand that, and keep facing your true north. Keep speaking your truth. Keep living your truth. Keep being true to yourself above all else. Yeah. And don't, sometimes we can think ourselves out of anything, right? We can think ourselves into complete paralysis. So don't do that. Yes, the energies are calling us to make a plan, and they are slowing us down a little bit, but they're not, like, we're never at a complete standstill, right? Unless we allow ourselves to be. And sometimes when we let that mental energy overtake us, that's when we end up becoming paralyzed. So don't allow that. Don't try to understand everything, experience everything, be in the moment, and really appreciate the moment and what's happening for you right now. And then with this boundaries, I feel like some of us, we have to establish better boundaries with our minds, because our minds really run amok sometimes. And so utilize this Mercury and Aquarius energy to really expand your mind, expand your vision. When Mercury goes into retrograde in Aquarius, we are absolutely going to have a chance to do that, and a chance to see things from a different angle and a different perspective, which I think is going to be really helpful for us. But we need to establish, a lot of us, better boundaries with our minds, better boundaries just in general with the ways that we allow ourselves to move in the world. And also, of course, there is that energy, and I think a lot of us have been working on this with the people in our lives and the boundaries that we set with them, how we allow ourselves to be treated, where we extend or overextend ourselves, those things as well also coming through. But I'm definitely feeling the setting better boundaries with our minds coming through, which is really interesting. And then we have trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And so this is where your intuition is coming into play, right? We're talking about today how that intuition will be heightened. It's like, that's your intuition, that little, as this card likes to call it, the niggling feeling, that feeling, that little feeling in your gut, that little voice in your head, that little spark, right? That is your intuition, and it's trying to lead you, and it's trying to guide you. I feel like there's somebody who's getting really caught up in their mental energy right now, and it's drowning out their intuition. And it's like that little feeling keeps coming up and keeps trying to push you in the right direction, but you're not listening to it because you're too busy analyzing, right? Our intuition has nothing to do with analysis. The analysis is when the mind steps in. The intuition comes first, and then the mind comes in and tries to analyze it and make sense of it. But a lot of times we can't make sense of it because we can't see that bigger picture. We don't understand all the variables, even though we would like to think that we do. Right? And so when that intuition comes in, sometimes it doesn't make any sense, and we're like, I don't know if that's right. That doesn't, the key words being make sense, right? I can't make sense of that. I don't see how that's going to help me. I don't see how that's going to play out. That doesn't fit into my life. That there's a million different excuses that we make and things that we say to ourselves to negate our intuition. But it's like, you are being guided if you allow yourself to listen to that and stop listening to your mind. Right? Our mind is meant to be our servant, not the other way around. All right. Anything else coming out here? Yeah. Okay. Get grounded. That's going to help. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. And so this energy coming through a lot, and it's like, I think also when we get so caught up in the minds, and that mind is racing, and it puts us into that state, which is also ironically, sometimes a symptom of an overactive third eye is a lot of anxiety, a lot of like racing thoughts, which is really interesting, right? And so meditation can really help with that, getting grounded. We want to, if we are in this sort of on this hamster wheel in our minds, grounding ourselves can help It can help with everything. This is just something that's been coming up a lot in general, because when we spend so much time up in the higher realms and worrying about that stuff and working with our higher chakras and doing all of that, a lot of times we neglect our lower chakras. We neglect the fact that we are these physical beings as well, and we are part of the earth and connecting to her. And so this comes back to that red serpent energy, right? We want to be grounded. We want to be centered in this physical experience as well. And so if your mind is running away with you, one thing that you can do that will help is to ground yourself. Connect with nature if you can. It depends on what part of the world you are in. I hate the cold, so I am not going outside a lot right now. I miss nature very, very much. But I don't miss her enough to freeze. But if you live somewhere where it's warm or, even like mild, go and do that. There are still ways to connect with nature indoors, right? We can utilize grounding crystals, especially, I was talking to somebody about this the other day, like ambers and petrified wood, crystals that are very much of the earth and made of those very, very earthy elements especially can be really good for us right now. Burning Palo Santo, things like that, like really just however you can. I'm thinking of right now, there's something that you can do with like copper wire, I think, that helps to ground and connect you to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. There are like grounding mats and things like that. And so there are things that we can do but really just sitting and meditating and imagining that our energy moving down through our spine, down out the bottoms of our feet, into the earth, connecting with the center of the earth and pulling that energy back up through our chakra line can really help to ground us as well. And this is really important, especially for empaths and people who are highly sensitive. Your minds may be running away with you. You may be experiencing even more anxiety than the average person because you're also picking that up from the collective energy. And so if you ground back into Mother Earth, that will help to soothe some of that energy. It's going to help to soothe your meridian lines, which with all of this energy that we are experiencing right now, like our meridians are buzzing. Also, please reach out to me if you'd like. The energy healings that I do can be really helpful with that stuff as well. And then we have the ever unfolding rose coming out, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Whatever is happening in your life right now, it is happening to help you grow and to evolve. If you are experiencing a lot of pain, if things are being removed, right? We always know they're removed to make room for something better or to leave space for that thing to transform and return in whatever form it chooses to return in. But there's a lot of us, I don't even feel that it's necessarily that anything outward actually is happening for a lot of us. It's just we are emotionally being cracked open to a new level. We are experiencing a deeper layer of healing right now. And that can feel very painful, but understand that that is happening for us. It's allowing our heart center to open more. It's allowing us to be more receptive to love, to abundance, to beauty, to bliss, right? By releasing more of those painful emotions. And so just understand, if this is happening, it's actually a beautiful thing. Whatever is going on in your life right now is orchestrated for your highest good. I also feel like there are people who prayed for things and they feel like they're getting the opposite of what they prayed for right now, and they don't understand that what is happening is what is necessary to get them to the point that they want to be at. Whatever it is that you wanted, Spirit is giving that to you, but there's a process in order for you to be the vibrational match to get it, and in order for you to get to the place that you need to be. And so things are being rearranged, you are being cracked open, you are being healed, and that can be a painful process. It also is bringing people closer to their soul family, their soul tribe. Okay? They are being called to you. There may be instances where I just feel it's that energy coming through again of people feeling really alone, right? It says you don't have to do it alone. People feeling like, I guess this is one thing that we're told on our spiritual journey, right? Is that we're going to be alone for a long time because people aren't going to understand us, right? That the spiritual journey is a lonely one. It doesn't have to be. Right? There are periods where we need to go through isolation because that's how we're going to learn the most. That's how we're going to grow the most. But our entire experience doesn't have to be isolation, right? Sometimes we have a period of that. But then when we are restored to what is more our true vibration, right? We attract those in who are of a like vibration to where we are now. We begin attracting in that soul family. So call in your tribe. wherever they are. Send out that beacon, send out that energetic signal. And just know it's sort of like I'm thinking of like a lighthouse, or sort of ships when they're out at sea and they send out that light. Like shine out your light, and just know that those who are meant to be attracted to it will be. But we have to be patient with that process a little bit sometimes. But you absolutely don't have to do it alone. That's why that's why I created this channel, to help people understand that they're not alone, right? So that everyone here can support each other. I am always here to support you. There is support everywhere, all around you, if you only ask. Oh boy. All right, what else do we have coming out here? We have the initiation, right? Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. This is where we are. There was a video reading that I did called Initiation, and that was really powerful. If you look back through my daily readings, I think it was on a daily reading that came up. But this is an incredible rite of passage that we're going through right now, as we are initiated into the next phase of our journey. And part of that initiation, part of what we're being called to do, is to really shine our light, to no longer dim ourselves in order to fit in, to no longer behave in a way that is not true to us. We're being asked to be true to ourselves. We're being asked, if you want to find your soul family, you have to be true to yourself. You can't sort of act in a way and behave in a way and try to fit in with the people you don't fit in with. If we're always trying to do that, we're never going to find the people that we truly resonate with. Because how are they going to find us if we're pretending to be somebody else? And so it's really about fully being you. And when we are fully ourselves, even if we know that we're going to lose friends, even if we know that there are people that are going to question us, that are going to judge us, but we still step into the truth of who we are, that's when we call in and attract the people that resonate with that truth of who we are, right? But that's part of that initiation, is we have to be willing to do that. We have to have the courage to do that. And then we also have Star Mother coming out. How can you mother yourself? So this is that energy of nurturing ourselves, caring for ourselves. We saw that with the Cancer full moon, where it was really that understanding of how can we parent ourselves? How can we give ourselves what it is that we never received, right? And then through that process, realize that we have absolutely everything we need within us, right? And then on the bottom of the deck, Warrior Woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Answer that calling, trust that niggling feeling, don't dim yourself to fit in, and you will attract everyone and everything that is meant for you. And then trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Right? That's what we do. We even if we don't fully 100% believe that we will be supported, we act as if. Right? Sometimes that's the only thing we can do. And that trust and that faith builds as we move along, right? There are never any, well, there is a guarantee, but it doesn't feel much like a guarantee, right? And that's where that courage comes in. That's where that faith comes in. All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you very, very much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'm sorry. Did I miss 2 days of readings? 1 or 2 days? I'm not really sure. Sometimes things come up and I'm not quite able to get them done. But I'm always thinking of all of you. I appreciate you so very, very much. Drop a comment. Let me know how today is feeling for you, how it's resonating, how you're experiencing these energies. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to donate to my channel. As I said, my email is down below as well. And yeah, if you liked this video, like this video. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday.